10 straight minutes of news. Brought to you by Bus Auto Network. Built on trust, driven by integrity.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Huber Heights.
At least one person has died in a house fire there.
Now, the home is in the 4500 block of Corner Drive that's near Harshmanville Road.
And that's where our Nathan Edwards is live with more on what we've learned tonight. Nathan.
Adam and Deb, we are just now learning that the victim of this deadly fire is an elderly woman. The Huber Heights Fire Department has notified some of her family, but they're not releasing her name until tomorrow morning. She was found in the back bedroom of the house. Emergency crews were called out here around 7, finding her room fully engulfed, smoke billowing from the windows. The fire was intense. Crews were able to extinguish the flames, but it was too late. Nearby residents are still in shock after seeing this tragedy unfold before their eyes.
It just was really, really shooting flames out of that window. Because when I walked up, I was like, oh my God, that whole house, I said, is that an inferno or what's going on?
Right now, investigators are still searching for the cause of the fire. As soon as we get more information, including the victim's name, we'll update you online and on air. Live in Huber Heights tonight, Nathan Edwards, Fox45Now.com.
All right, Nathan, thank you. This is the second deadly fire in Huber Heights this year. Back in February, a 10-year-old girl died in this fire. The rental home did not have any working smoke detectors, prompting the city to work on a new ordinance requiring them in rentals.
2 explosives towards the gas meter. He was trying to blow up the house. Yeah. He was on a complete suicide mission. I don't know what the man was thinking.
Only on Fox 45, a man accused of trying to blow a home up with a father and his 9-year-old boy inside. Explosives being hurled at gas lines while that family watched helplessly.
Kelly May is live now after talking with those victims and witnesses. Kelly.
Well, Adam and Deborah, the victims showed me their gas line and meter just like this one, and they are speaking out tonight because of the potentially deadly effects if the explosives that suspect threw had hit a line.
It would have killed him. It would have killed everyone in the house and my neighbor.
Ronnie Swango is thankful his family is alive after the attempt made Sunday night on Holman Drive to blow up his home gas line.
I got the call at like 11:30. My dad told me somebody tried to blow the house up, and he grabbed my little brother and put him in a safe place, and I was just freaking out. 2 explosives towards the gas meter. He was trying to blow up the house.
The explosives blew the front of the meter off, damaged the siding, and blew out the front window.
The first time I heard it, it sounded like a 10-gauge shotgun. So I come running out, and the whole street was full of smoke, so I couldn't really see anything. So I kind of went running back up toward my porch to get my phone to dial 911. And that's when I heard the next boom.
He was on a complete suicide mission. I don't know what the man was thinking.
Almost like a hit.
Police got a description of the arson suspect. This morning, they went to a home on Suman Ave in Dayton to serve a search warrant, and one person was questioned. On Ronnie and Steven's minds tonight,
just the fact that the guy kind of knew what he was doing because he stood in the smoke bank when he threw the second one.
There's just so much that could have happened that didn't.
Back out here live now, Moraine police are actively investigating this aggravated arson attempt tonight. The victims telling you they do not know exactly who did this, but if you can help, call Moraine police at 535-1166. Live tonight, Kelly May, Fox45Now.com.
All right, Kelly, thanks. And all new at 10 tonight, a child rape suspect now behind bars. Travis Odom just taken into custody in North Carolina today, all thanks to an anonymous tip. Police say a Trotwood mom went to check on her 11-year-old daughter when she found Odom in the closet, half naked. Odom is now facing charges of rape of a child under the age of 13. He's now awaiting extradition back to Trotwood.
Cruiser cam video just released after a Huber Heights police officer opens fire on a suspect because that officer says he came face to face with a gun. Now police are telling us his girlfriend, 18-year-old Paige Taylor, may be harboring him. Police say the suspect, Joshua Kaiser, sped away and is still on the loose tonight. Taylor may now face felony charges if she's helping him avoid arrest. Back in April, Janice Miller says Taylor and another girl nearly knocked her down at the Walmart on Miller Lane.
I just don't know. I don't understand it. You would think from the first time that she got in trouble, it was a minor charge, that she would, realize that she needs to do something different with her life.
A robbery charge in the Walmart case against Taylor was dismissed due to lack of evidence. Huber Heights police say if you know the whereabouts of Kaiser or Taylor, please call the number right there on your screen.
Tonight, a community grieving after a man was shot and killed inside of his home, all on his birthday.
And right now, the woman who police believe committed that murder is behind bars tonight. Our Elise Coulter is live on the west side where the victim's family just wrapped up a vigil. Elise.
Police were called to this house right behind me here on Patton Avenue and found 37-year-old Travis Smith shot to death. But tonight, friends find comfort in prayer.
Let us all come close.
A community coming together to pray.
We are celebrating the life of Travis.
37-year-old Travis Smith shot and killed.
We know that, Father God, you have called him home to rest.
Inside his home on Patton Avenue.
We lost a brother.
Now this West Side community grieving a family member.
Brothers and sisters, that's what we is up here, brother. Like a big old family, like I can't explain. Like besides my real family, like this all I got. This my family.
And we ask that you smile upon his children.
Smith leaves behind 5 kids. All were inside the home when he was shot.
Anything basically that a mom would do, you know what I'm saying? He was there as a dad, like whatever he had to do to please his kids, he was there.
And now the community is there for Smith and his family.
It makes me feel real good because we know what kind of person he was, you know, so much love.
And let us all come together, make this neighborhood a better place to live.
Even though he gone, he will always, you know, he was a celebrating person. Like when we do family things, he was here. You know, so we doing this for him. We
just thank you and ask that you walk with us, lead and guide us every step of the way. Amen.
Amen. Happy birthday, Happy birthday! Dayton police tell us that Smith and the female arrested had been arguing over the past few days. Now a gun was found inside the home. At this point, though, they have not released the name of the woman they've arrested. For now, reporting live in Dayton, Elise Coulter, Fox 45 Now.
All right, Elise, thank you. And as of now, the woman has not been formally charged. Dayton police tell us they will present their case to the prosecutor in the next few days.
Yeah, we certainly are. We are settling down into the 60s in a lot of places, as we can see on our WeatherBug network, our newest addition here to our weather suite. First warning weather. We're going to be giving you hometown numbers here, rainfall amounts, wind gusts. It's going to be a really great addition that we do have. We're headed down into the 50s overnight. One more cool one. We're tracking some rain Friday now earlier. Holiday weekend ends wet. We'll talk about the chances for rain for the fireworks. That's coming up.
All right, Jamie, thanks. All news tonight. Moraine police looking for a third suspect now after a violent robbery at an auto shop. Samantha Collier is believed to be driving a dark green Chevy Trailblazer. It's got Ohio plate number FMK 5190, and the driver's side window is broken out. Now, police say she helped these guys, Robert Honius and Michael Brad Shampton, rob a man of $1,200. Earlier this afternoon, police say the suspects came to the shop looking for the owner's grandson. They found him next door and reportedly beat him, pistol whipped him, and took the cash. The victim knows the suspects, but the motive unknown tonight. If you know where any of these three are, do not approach them. Call 911.
And the hunt is on right now after a violent attack at a Dayton bus stop. It happened early this morning at North Broadway in West Grand. Police telling us the victim was waiting for the bus when another man walked up and pointed a gun at his face. That victim's 911 call just released to our newsroom.
He got on a black hoodie with some white writing on it and some camouflage pants. It was the only one I seen because he's the one that had the gun that was pointing at me, and they ran back through the park.
The suspect got away with the man's wallet and cell phone. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP.
Information tonight about a deadly crash in Darke County. The victims just identified as motorcyclist David Milligan and semi-driver Roger Evans. Police say Evans was turning left from State Route 121 to U.S. Route 127 when Milligan crashed into the side. Milligan died at the scene. It's not clear if he was wearing a helmet or not. Evans was taken to a nearby hospital, but he later passed away.
Well, efforts to cut down on overdoses here in the Miami Valley. Families of addicts held a session for those wanting to learn how to use naloxone. That's a drug designed to block or reverse the effects of overdosing. Last year, 259 people died from drug overdoses alone here in Montgomery County.
They fill out paperwork really just to keep track of some stats and stuff for the funding. And they will go through a line and get their own kit that gets a prescription number on it and their name, and they will leave with their own kit.
Now each kit has 2 doses of the life-saving drug.
You're watching your 10 o'clock guarantee. That is 10 straight minutes of news and weather only here on Fox 45. And straight ahead, a vicious attack caught on camera. A nearly 90-year-old beaten with his own cane. The victim sharing his harrowing ordeal next.
Plus, terror in Turkey. Dayton's Turkish community speaking out against extremism, why they fear more attacks. That's coming up.
A girl is shot during a Cavaliers parade in Cleveland. Now, police telling us the 15-year-old suspect was involved in a fight last Wednesday when he opened fire. A 13-year-old was hit twice in the legs. A warrant has now been issued for the suspect's arrest, but the search is still on for a second suspect. Now that girl will recover, and police are promising to bring both gunmen in.
Caught on camera, a brutal attack in Corryville near Cincinnati. Watch as the suspect throws a rock at 87-year-old James Hayes. Hayes, a prep cook at La Rosa's for more than 20 years, you see, oh my gosh, falls to the ground. That's when the suspect then uses Hayes' own cane to beat him repeatedly, then makes off with Hayes' car.
I feel bad about it, but the only thing, I'm glad he didn't actually kill me, you know. Like I told my son, the car could be replaced, credit cards can be replaced. If something happened to me, they can't replace me.
Wow, he looks pretty darn good. Well, that car was found abandoned just a few blocks away, but the search for that suspect still underway.
Well, terror in Turkey, the death toll continuing to rise tonight.
I stepped out of the plane, walked around the corner, and there's this wave of sort of screaming people towards me.
Witnesses sharing their first-hand accounts what the local Turkish community is saying after this latest attack. That's next.
Plus, credit card skimmers popping up as folks pump up for the holiday travel weekend. The 2 things you need to do to keep your identity safe coming up.
And there's a live look outside on our Kettering Health Network Skycam. This bone-dry air will give us one more cool night and one more great day before changes arrive. When we see our next rain has changed, and future catches will show you next.
Screaming, sort of yelling that there had been a bomb, an explosion, there had been gunfire. The crowd turned and was frantically rushing backwards, running into a corridor that ended up being a dead end.
For the first time, we're hearing from witnesses inside a Turkish airport as terrorists set off bomb after bomb. The death toll now has risen to 42.
The attack has the local Turkish community reeling tonight, and Lisa Smith joins us live with more.
Well, Deborah, there are hundreds of Turkish families right here in the Miami Valley. Fortunately, no one locally was hurt, but the concern for what's happening a world away is great.
It's so difficult to explain to you what the Turkish people feel.
But the images give you an idea. Sadness, despair, disbelief.
It's a very European country. Back 6 months ago, it was one of the most safest countries you can go.
But over the last year, there have been a rash of terrorist attacks, including the one yesterday at the Istanbul airport. Islam Shakbandarov is president of the Turkish American Community Center of Dayton. He says he was just at the Istanbul airport 2 weeks ago, and he's concerned about his next flight.
Most definitely. This is the reason they target the airport. They want to target the people, foreigners, all those international travelers.
A friend texted pictures of what was happening yesterday as he sat on a plane in Istanbul. Shakbandarov says the terrorists want to disrupt the Turkish economy, and to strike during Ramadan shows they aren't practicing Muslims.
Those people who's doing this has no faith, no religious agenda. It's only political, their own agenda. It's nothing to do with the religion.
Now, of course, Turkey is a key ally for the U.S., so he's hopeful that the U.S. will join other countries in fighting this terrorist act. Meanwhile, the community center here will be holding a public prayer service on Friday to pray for those lives that were lost. Live in Dayton, Lisa Smith, Fox45Now.com.
All right, Lisa, thanks. And here's a timeline of other terrorist attacks that have taken place in Turkey so far this year, as terrorist activity has increased in that region.
Meantime, President Obama now vowing to dismantle organizations of hate, but experts say it's going to take a united front involving many countries. And coming up at 10:30, we're going to explore why that may be harder to coordinate than first thought.
Chief Meteorologist Jamie Simpson tracking the chance for showers later this week. What can we expect, Jamie?
Yeah, we have more than 24 hours until we see rainfall once again. And in fact, another, maybe 18 or so that we can really enjoy before humidity starts to rise. And that includes the night tonight. It's going to be cool again. We'll be down in the 50s at some point tomorrow around midday or so. You may want to close the windows if they're open and let the AC take over from there with the humidity rise that we'll have tomorrow night, and also with the fact that we're going to reach 80 or so tomorrow afternoon. Our brand new WeatherBug network here showing you temperatures in your hometown. Sydney 68 for Sales, also at 68. Brookville 67 degrees. Springfield a cool spot at 61. And across the southern Miami Valley 64 right now in Xenia, 68 in Kettering. We're going to be adding more stations to this, I guarantee that. So we're going to have all sorts of weather data for you. Temperatures, wind gusts after storms come through, rainfall as well. Today's high 77. Should be getting up to 83. We'll be closer to that tomorrow. But we don't get above this number until Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. No heat for the weekend. Unfortunately, we'll have to deal with a little bit of rain. Around 80 or so in Dayton tomorrow. It'll be another great afternoon as the humidity will still be low. About 80 in Springfield as well, with just some puffy clouds out there at times in the afternoon. A bit cooler in the northern Miami Valley into the upper 70s, but everybody has a nice day. Here's how it breaks down. About 59 at 8, 73 at noontime. We'll climb up to about 80 or so in the afternoon. Enjoy. And Saturday's going to be very nice as well, but in between, well, we'll deal with a little bit of rainfall on Friday. In the short term, though, we've got clouds that head towards us and kind of fizzle out because of the dry air still in place. But this time tomorrow night, we'll be tracking some showers and storms off to our northwest. Here we are at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. We'll drop back down through the 70s and into the 60s tomorrow night as humidity does start to rise ahead of a cold front. And look at this rainfall now into the area by 7 o'clock or so on Friday. That means some wet roads for your morning commutes, but everything is a little quicker with every computer forecast model run I see for Friday. Looks like most of this should be out of here by early to mid-afternoon. Here's 4 o'clock, a dry evening commute, and conditions get pretty nice as we head into Friday evening. And that'll carry over to Saturday. Sunday, though, clouds arrive. We may get some rainfall in here at some point Sunday night, and definitely dealing with some rain at times Monday. But I'll tell you what, I don't see both Sunday night's fireworks downtown in Dayton and the other ones on Monday both being plagued by rain. That's the good news. Big warm up, more humidity, a few storms on the way for Wednesday.
All right, a major scam alert tonight if you plan to hit the road this holiday weekend. Gas pump skimmers continue to pop up across the Miami Valley, so station owners are stepping up security to help keep your identity safe. Montgomery County Auditor Carl Key says to be sure to look for tampered security seals before filling up.
Every morning they should come out and check all of their devices and do what you said, pull on and make sure that it doesn't pull away and make sure that there's not one on it. I think they do have a responsibility once a day to do that.
Now, a non-broken seal still does not guarantee there's not a skimmer inside, so officials say to pay with cash or a credit card and don't use a debit card at the pump.
Taking a live look now at our major roadways. Not too many cars on the road tonight, but that will soon change. 1.5 million Ohioans are expected to hit the road this 4th of July Independence holiday. But what happens when your car can't get you to the fun? According to AAA, last year 1,400 Miami Valley residents needed roadside rescue. So AAA suggests getting your car checked out before leaving for the weekend, especially the battery, since the high heat can drain it just as fast as the cold during the winter.
Yeah, that's a real bummer if your car breaks down, especially when you're getting ready to go out of town on vacation. No fun.
No, not at all.
Well, if you are hitting the road, or if you're not hitting the road this holiday weekend, you may instead be grilling out like a lot of people.
And after 30 minutes, the charcoal started to drop in temperature.
So we are putting the best grills to the test. Are those hybrid gas charcoal models really worth it? Find out next.
Plus, a local park in desperate need, the group stepping up to make a difference, and who's paying for the project. Coming up.
Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's the prayer that a country boy prays. Thank God he made me this way. Hunting and fishing.
Well, this 4th of July weekend, you may be hunting or fishing with friends and grilling out. And the gas versus charcoal debate is a controversial one. But now some grills are promising to do both. Consumer Reports puts them to the test.
Some of us swear by the smoky flavor of charcoal. Others like the quick convenience of firing up a gas grill. Hybrid grills promise to keep both camps happy. Consumer Reports just tested two, the $300 Charbroil Gas 2 Coal and the $500 Dynaglow. The Charbroil looks like a regular gas grill until you slide in this tray for charcoal.
It's convenient because you can use the gas burner to ignite the charcoal, but because it only has one cooking surface, you can only cook with gas or charcoal, not both at the same time.
The Dynaglow is basically two grills in one, so you can cook both ways simultaneously, but that means each cooking surface is relatively small. Consumer Reports ran temperature tests using thermocouples at different spots along the grill's surface.
We found they got hotter in gas mode, which is important for searing a nice piece of meat. They didn't get quite as hot in charcoal mode, and after 30 minutes, the charcoal started to drop in temperature.
So which tastes better? Consumer Reports asked its expert taste testers to compare burgers cooked on a charcoal grill with those cooked on a gas grill. A few of the panelists noted some brown grilled flavor, and several picked up a smoky note in the charcoal burgers. But overall, the testers agreed there would be likely little difference in taste when served on a bun with toppings. While these results may not convince a charcoal loyalist, at least there's a way to please them at your next barbecue.
All right, all those burgers look delish. Well, both the Dynaglow and Charbroil use standard propane tanks and have coated cast iron grates and electronic burners. The Charbroil also has a side burner.
Volunteers teaming up to transform a Beaver Creek Park in desperate need of a makeover. So Grangeview Acres Park was built in the 1980s by Eagle Scouts, but now all that remains are 4 posts. So workers at the Hilton Garden Inn applied for a special grant with their company and won the grand prize, $5,000. That money will be used for new shelter, workable garden, and a baseball diamond.
Well, the old mayor actually told us about this park because we had put it out that we were looking for a park to overhaul and kind of bring the community into awareness about. And he sent us some pictures and it was overgrown, and we just decided to take it on.
The work is expected to be done by October.
All right, a pretty tragic story coming up. A mother shoots and kills her 2 daughters. What her husband says may have been her motive. That's next.
Plus, a major data breach at Noodles & Company. What the company is advising customers to do now.
Holiday weekend forecast has changed a bit when the best and worst weather to be outside will be.
You may be less at risk for certain diseases just because you have a furry friend.
Tomorrow, what it means for men and why cats have a better impact on a woman's health.
That story and more tomorrow from 7 to 9 right here on Fox 45 News in the morning.
Beware tonight, Noodles & Company, the latest target of a major data breach. Locations at Austin's Landing and the Green affected. Maria Durant now has the latest on this developing story.
That meal you bought at Noodles & Company may have come with a side of cyber theft. The company announcing it may have been hacked. Customer Joanna Gorowski hadn't heard the news until I told her.
Super surprised because we haven't heard anything and we go there all the time.
She works next door to this Noodles & Company, so she orders from the restaurant at least 2 or 3 times a week.
I'm just wondering if everything's safe for sure.
Noodles & Company says the security breach may have given hackers access to customers' payment information. Customers who use their debit or credit cards between January 31st and June 2nd may be at risk. Company hacking says computer specialist Matthew Brother McGrew is becoming all too common.
In this case, from the initial reports, we're seeing that malware was installed on the cash register terminals, and that was the same type of vulnerability that we saw with Target.
He says right now one of the best ways to prevent hackers from getting your personal information is to make sure you use a credit card with a chip. He says your information is encrypted.
Most of the data that's on that card, the credit card number, your name, and all of that does not necessarily go back and forth.
This customer has his own way of dealing with the increase in cyber theft. He pays with cash at restaurants.
I get out my money for lunch, and then I just spend it throughout the week, so I don't have to keep using my card every place.
That was Maria Durant reporting. The company is telling its customers to keep an eye on their bank statements and credit card statements. If you notice anything unusual, contact your bank or credit card company immediately. Now, we've got a link to the affected locations and timelines on our website. Just click on this story. And now to an update on a story we brought you as breaking news last night at 11. A Kettering home caught fire for the second time in 3 months. It happened along Rock Hill Avenue. Investigators say the home was vacant and didn't have any power or gas running into it. Neighbors say they want to see the home knocked down.
We just moved in, and this is the second time we've had to deal with this on the street, and I mean, it's frustrating.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
And a wicked weather flashback tonight. This was the scene 4 years ago today when that derecho hit the Miami Valley. The fast-moving thunderstorm complex spread across more than 800 miles in 8 states, packing speeds of 91 miles an hour in some places. In all, 28 people died, and that storm caused nearly $3 billion in damage. And I remember that. I was living in West Virginia at the time, and we lost power for 3 days, and it was so hot that time of year that it was even too unbearable to sleep in our basement.
Oh, it was beyond, I mean, just the swath of, I've never seen anything like that before.
Now, we actually were very fortunate here because we had some places without power for a week.
Wow.
But we were comfortable in the 70s. It was actually just like today for an entire week after that came through. So actually, no, I'm wrong about that. I'm thinking about after Hurricane Ike, it was in the 70s. No, you're right. Deb, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I remember that there were people in some communities where we had power on one side of the street and no power on the other. They were running extension cords across the street so people could keep things refrigerated and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that was just remarkable. This is a composite radar image of the derecho, and here's Indiana-Ohio line right here, and these numbers are wind gusts, 84, 80, 81, and from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to midnight, it raced from Indiana all the way to the East Coast with 80-plus mile-an-hour winds along the whole path. It was remarkable. And we'll probably see another one of those in our lifetime here, but there won't be many, thankfully. All right, WeatherBug Network has joined the first warning suite of products here, and we're tracking temperatures cooling off down through the 60s. Xenia at 63, Huber Heights 66, 69 right now in Vandalia. We head down into the 50s overnight. We've got a few high clouds that'll work through overnight, but nothing significant in any way whatsoever in terms of weather for the next 24 hours. But Friday, that changes right here. We've got a cold front. The energy with this system is going to scoop by to the north, and the moisture that would be potentially available for any severe weather stays to our south. So all we're going to see is a few scattered showers and storms, and it looks to be mainly the first half of the day now. Overnight, we're down to 56 degrees with light winds, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow, a high of 80. One more really nice day. We're up into the low 70s at noontime. We'll see some scattered clouds out there, maybe a few wispy high clouds early, but otherwise we're looking at a lot of sunshine once again. But that changes tomorrow night, and also humidity really starts to come up again tomorrow night. So here is 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. We will cool down through the 70s, but not into the 50s as we head towards Friday morning, only 60s. And also we'll start to see some rain work in for the start of the day Friday. The timing of this is really good for us, other than the fact we'll have some wet roads for the morning commute, but thunderstorms in the morning don't get very strong. That's the good news. So by noontime, the bulk of the rain is through. A few more showers and storms through maybe mid-afternoon, and then we clear out heading into Friday evening. And that's going to set us up for a real nice Saturday. 80 with sun. 83 Sunday, clouds roll in, and Monday we're going to deal with some rain. The timing of this is still a little up in the air. If the rain gets early enough to be here for the fireworks downtown Dayton Sunday night, it should clear out of here by fireworks displays on Monday night. Otherwise, if we're still good Sunday night, then Monday nights might be in jeopardy. So you kind of get the idea there. Tuesday, we're dry, back to work. Of course we are. Hot with some thunderstorms possible Wednesday.
All right, Jamie, thanks. Caught on camera, the man seen here brutally beating a woman during a home invasion 3 years ago learns his sentence. The nanny camera catching Sean Custis attacking the New Jersey mom in front of her 3-year-old daughter. Custis has a long criminal record.
First-degree robbery in violation of New Jersey Statute annotated 2C:15-1A3. You're hereby committed to the custody of the Department of Corrections for a term of life imprisonment.
The victim says she finally feels safe knowing he'll be locked up for so long.
Well, tonight we're learning new information on why a Texas mother killed her 2 daughters. Officials say Christy Sheets pulled out a .38 caliber handgun and shot her 22-year-old daughter Taylor and 17-year-old daughter Madison in front of the girl's father, Jason Sheets, who says his wife wanted him to suffer.
Mr. Sheets stated Christy knew how much he loved Taylor and Madison and how much they loved him. By killing his children, Mr. Sheets will have to live the rest of his life with this horrible memory.
Absolutely terrible. Well, police shot and killed Mrs. Sheets when they said that she would not put down her weapon. Her husband told deputies his wife had mental health issues and she started to spiral out of control after her mother and grandfather both passed away in 2012.
We were just running. There was no instruction. You ran into one direction and somebody called, no, the terrorists over there, and then you ran in the other. So we then started to hide.
Witnesses coming forward after a deadly terror attack in Istanbul. President Obama now vowing to dismantle organizations of hate, but it will take a unified front involving many countries. Turkey is learning those willing to join the fight also make themselves more likely to suffer. Scott Thuman explains.
At the same time Turkey was reeling from the suicide bombings at Ataturk Airport, that nation was also supporting U.S.-led airstrikes inside of Syria. It's a partnership that has brought progress in the war on terror, but also pain. Ever since joining the U.S.-led coalition last August, the attacks by ISIS inside Turkey, specifically Istanbul, have risen.
The Islamic State is upset that Turkey has joined the coalition and that they're trying to show that there's a cost to that.
Terror expert Matthew Levitt of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy believes if it's the goal of ISIS to bully other nations, they're going to fall short.
I think it's actually going to backfire. And I don't think you're going to see now, like we saw after al-Qaeda bombed the trains in Madrid, trying to get Spain to drop out of the coalition in Iraq, which it did. I think you will not see that now.
So these attacks, like what we saw in Brussels, like what we've now seen in Turkey, those could actually become unifying moments?
I think they are going to become unifying moments.
More than a dozen countries have joined the coalition's airstrikes against terror targets in Iraq or Syria, aware of that calculated risk, but hopeful of eradicating the threat, as outlined by President Obama today.
They're going to be defeated in Syria. They're going to be defeated in Iraq. They are going to be on the run.
But CIA Director John Brennan said ISIS sees these types of bombings as a way to offset losses on the battlefield, adding in a recent interview, "I'd be surprised if Daesh is not trying to carry out that kind of attack in the United States." Director Brennan praised the strong partnership with our allies in this fight, but he cautioned that we still, quote, have a long way to go before we can claim significant progress. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
And this brings us to our question of the day. Which presidential candidate do you think could be more effective in keeping you safe from a terror attack? Let us know now at fox45now.com.
Well, a pet cat goes missing for nearly 2 years, and tonight, why 2 neighbors are now in a cat fight.
Plus, are you feeling lucky? We got 415 million reasons to play Mega Millions and what people would do with the money if they hit the jackpot.
And here's a live look outside from our Kettering Health Network Skycam. Jamie has your final forecast next. Well, a tug of war over a Himalayan cat named Joey is playing out in Bloomingdale, Illinois. Joey was adopted by Nicole Malone, beautiful cat, in March of 2011. She paid $1,100 for him and has the papers to prove that he was microchipped. Well, then Joey went missing in 2013. Nicole put up flyers in the community, but no luck in finding him. Well, a neighbor, get this, just a few doors down took him in after she says Joey would not leave their front stoop for months. Well, fast forward now 2.5 years, and Nicole, there you go, spots Joey in her neighbor's window, and the cat fight is on.
He was trying to come in for months upon months upon months, where we said, here's food and water, now go home, kitty cat, and you need to go home to your owners.
I assumed that he
was probably taken by a coyote or something.
That is such a pretty cat, isn't it? Well, police say there's no criminal intent and have refused to press charges. Both sides now have hired lawyers.
Well, here's some good news. Maybe. You got a chance anyway. Just pick the right numbers. You could win $415 million in the Mega Millions jackpot. That's because no one won the big $390 million jackpot in Tuesday night's drawing. Friday night's drawing has a $286 million cash payout. It's the third largest, by the way, jackpot in the game's history. Makes it the biggest prize offered in the game since December 17th, 2013. Do you remember where you were then? The drawing takes place Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern.
All right, we would like to know what you would buy if you won the jackpot. Just log on to our Facebook page and let us know.
You'd buy a house where you could leave the windows open?
I'd leave the windows open. Yes, fresh air.
I would buy a convertible.
Yes,
I always wanted a convertible.
I know. They would not do. A lot of them don't do well here in the Ohio winters, but if you you can move.
You'd buy a fleet of them.
A fleet of them. Coming up in sports, we've got a local competing in the semis for the Olympics, so I'll have highlights for that.
All right, very exciting.
Nice day tomorrow. Get some storms Friday morning and then some rain Monday.
All right, stay tuned for Megan. Thanks for joining us.
On Fox 45, I'm Megan McCormick. Less than 12 hours after J.J. Hoover gave up his franchise record 6th Grand Slam in last night's late inning loss against the Cubs, the Reds optioned the struggling reliever back down to AAA Louisville. After starting the season as the team's closer, Hoover has been demoted for the second time this season. To the game, an early one today at Great American Ballpark as the Cubs look to complete the series sweep against the Redlegs. Top of the first, runners on the corners, no outs. Anthony Rizzo drives one out to Billy Hamilton and Adam Duvall, but the ball goes off Hamilton's face. Zobrist and Bryant score, and the relay throw is too late as Rizzo rounds third, a 3-run inside the park after the ball off the head of Hamilton. Ouch. Let's take another look. Looks like it goes off the glove of Duvall. Ooh, right onto his head. Hamilton's looked at by the training staff, leaves the game diagnosed with a facial contusion, which returns him to the MLB concussion protocol for the second time in just a month. And Billy had a home run last night, too. Poor Billy. Top of the fourth. Cubs up 5-0. Addison Russell, first batter of the inning, drives one deep to left off Cody Reed. A solo homer into the hands of a Reds fan. Score now 6-0 Cubs. Bottom four, bring in Adam Duvall. Gets the Reds on the board with homer number 22 and becomes the league leader with his 22nd home run. Cubs fan gets that one, and the Cubs sweep the series. Final score 9-2. And the first place Indians face off with the National League's worst, the Atlanta Braves. Top six, Indians up 2. Lonnie Chisenhall with a solo home run to right. Indians go up 3-0. Indians, riding an 11-game winning streak, have not lost a game since the Cavaliers won the NBA championship. Check out this sliding catch by Rajai Davis. But the real star of this game was starting pitcher Danny Salazar. Salazar finished with 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. Indians win at 3-0. They get their 12th win in a row. An early one for the Dragons today, too. After losing late in the 9th inning last night, Dayton looks for a win to clinch another series victory, and they will at least split this 4-game series. Just need a win tomorrow night to clinch. Austin Orweiler fired off 6 scoreless innings as the Dragons defeated Fort Wayne 2-1 on the road. And a local competed in the Olympic swim trials today. Josh Flegel of St. Mary's finished in 17th place in the prelims for the 100-meter freestyle, but due to a scratch got bumped up to 16th, and he advanced to the semis. He also took 16th place in the semifinals with a time of 49.7 seconds. Unfortunately, only the top 8 advanced to the finals, but great job to him. And Michael Phelps makes history by becoming the first American male swimmer to qualify for his 5th Olympic Games. Phelps won the 200-meter butterfly and punched his ticket to Rio, finishing with the fastest time in the prelims, semis, and the finals. Coming up, it's day 3 of Wimbledon. Roger Federer makes some noise, and Nike is causing some controversy. Details next. You're watching the fourth quarter on Fox 45. On Fox 45, I'm Megan McCormick. It's day 3 of Wimbledon, and there's already a new controversial star. the Nike dress. The dress, which was designed for cooling and comfort, seems to be an issue for female athletes like Rebecca Peterson, who told the New York Times today that the dress was flying everywhere. Well, the upside is Roger Federer doesn't have to worry about a dress. Mary Carrillo with more on today's Wimbledon action.
Wednesday was another wet day at Wimbledon, but one match unaffected by rain was played indoors on center court, featuring the 7-time champ Roger Federer against Marcus Willis, ranked 772 in the world. Federer was rarely pushed as he took the match 6-love, 6-3, 6-4. As Roger moves on to the third round, Marcus Willis looks to hopefully a brighter tennis future. Coming up Thursday, the defending champ Serena Williams is scheduled to play fellow American Christina McCall. And a reminder to catch us daily at 4:30 Eastern Time for Wimbledon Primetime. In London with Tennis Channel, I'm Mary Carrillo.
Serena Williams tomorrow. That'll be really exciting. Fox 45 News is back in just minutes. I'm sorry. I feel like Anderson Cooper is back in just minutes over on ABC 22. Check it out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.